Imagine a path that didn't appear on any map. A path hidden in plain sight beneath the divided soil of a nation torn apart by slavery and freedom. This wasn't a railroad with tracks or trains. It was a network of hope, danger, and incredible courage. A secret highway to freedom that thousands traveled under cover of darkness. This is the story of the Underground Railroad, the railroad that freed thousands, yet stayed secret for decades. In the early 19th century, America was a country split in two. The North was moving toward abolition. The South held on fiercely to slavery. But between these two worlds, a shadowy resistance grew. It was a lifeline, a chain of safe houses, hidden routes, and heroes who risked everything to fight for justice. No one called it the Underground Railroad back then. That name came later. What it really was a secret alliance. Ordinary people, both black and white, working together against one of the greatest evils in history. They guided enslaved men, women, and children away from bondage, toward a chance at freedom. The story begins with a woman whose name became legend, Harriet Tubman. Born Araminta Ross around 1822 in Dorchester County, Maryland, she was born into slavery. From childhood, she endured unimaginable hardship and pain. But in 1849, Tubman escaped to the North, finding freedom for herself. She could have stopped there. But she chose to go back, again and again, leading others to freedom. People called her Moses. "I never ran my train off the track," she said. "And I never lost a passenger." Harriet's bravery is impossible to overstate. She made at least 13 trips into slave territory. Each journey was filled with peril. Armed patrols hunted for her. Bounty hunters searched for the runaways she guided. Every step risked capture, punishment, or death. Yet she pressed on. But Harriet Tubman was only one part of the story. The railroad was a vast, intricate network. It depended on thousands of brave people who stayed hidden in plain sight. Free African Americans opened their homes as stations. White abolitionists and Quakers provided shelter and supplies. Native Americans offered safe passage through difficult terrain. One of the most important figures in this story was William Still. A free black man living in Philadelphia, Still became known as the father of the Underground Railroad. Unlike many others, he kept detailed records, names, stories, even physical descriptions of escapees. He did this at great personal risk. His 1872 book, The Underground Railroad Records, is still one of the most comprehensive sources on this secret network. These records tell us about individuals like Josiah Henson. Henson was an escaped slave from Kentucky who fled to Canada through the railroad. His life story inspired Harriet Beecher Stowe's famous novel, Uncle Tom's Cabin. After gaining freedom, Henson became a minister, teacher, and abolitionist, helping others seek freedom. The railroad was not a straightforward journey. There were no schedules or tickets. Escapees relied on guides called conductors, who led them from one safe place to the next, traveling mostly at night. They used secret signals to communicate. Lanterns hung in windows, patterns sewn into quilts, even specific songs with hidden meanings. For example, the drinking gourd, a code for the Big Dipper constellation, helped guide escapees north by pointing toward the North Star. The railroad was a masterclass in secret communication and trust. Any betrayal could mean disaster. One of the darkest moments for the railroad came with the passage of the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. This law made it a crime for anyone, even in free states, to aid escaped slaves. It increased the risks dramatically. Slave catchers were empowered to capture freedom seekers anywhere, even in the North, and return them to bondage. But the railroad adapted. The routes extended further north, into Canada, where slavery was illegal and runaway slaves could live safely. Canada became the ultimate destination for many who fled the South. The courage and determination of those involved defied the terrifying consequences. These heroes were often ordinary people who became extraordinary. For them, helping others escape was a moral imperative. Their faith, conviction, and bravery changed history. As the Civil War erupted in 1861, the Underground Railroad's importance only grew. Thousands more escaped during the conflict, aided by the chaos and shifting power dynamics. The war ultimately ended slavery, but the legacy of the railroad lived on. After the war, many who traveled the railroad kept their stories secret, fearing reprisals or stigma. The railroad's secrecy, which saved lives, also meant many stories remained untold for decades. Today, historians continue to uncover its hidden history. Monuments like the Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad National Historical Park in Maryland and the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center in Cincinnati honor those who risked everything for freedom. The railroad's story is a testament to human resilience. It shows that in the darkest times, hope can travel in secret. That ordinary people, united by justice, can overcome oppression. When you hear the phrase, Underground Railroad, remember, it wasn't a railroad in the usual sense. It was a lifeline, a symbol of courage and freedom, that transformed a nation. It's a story that still inspires millions today. A reminder that freedom is worth fighting for. That sometimes, the greatest journeys happen in silence, under cover of night, guided by courage and faith. The railroad that freed thousands, and stayed secret, is more than history. It's a lesson for all of us. A reminder that courage can break chains. That even in darkness, hope finds a way. If this story inspired you, if you believe in the power of bravery and freedom, then join us. Like this video to show your support. Share it with someone who needs to hear this story. Comment below, what part moved you the most? Who inspires you to stand for justice? Subscribe now for more stories that uncover hidden truths and celebrate the heroes who changed the world. Together, we can keep these stories alive and inspire a future built on hope. Because sometimes, the greatest journeys start with a single step, and your journey starts right here. Thank you for watching.